So what happens when a outstanding Napa Valley Cabernet producer decides to put some roots down in Oregon as well? Things. Wonderful things. Absolutely delicious things. And it's as you'd expect. This is Alexana. This is Pinot Noir project from the great Dr. Medadiah Ravana. And he is considered, one of the top producers of Napa Valley Cabernet going, the Ravana wines. You know him well, you bought them from us. And this is his Oregon Pinot Noir project, which, if you know this cat, he's a pretty no expense spared type of cat. One of these, let's make great friggin' wine no matter what, no matter how. And you taste it. They're all of his wines are just immediately impressive. They make an impact straight away on the palate. They're not the most subtle, but they're not the biggest either. They have an amazing sense of balance and this direct delivery of flavor, which I absolutely adore in everything that they do, all their projects. It's just like, bam, flavor. But you're not going like, ooh, it's porty, or ooh, it's lean. You're like, flavor, more. And that's how these guys make wine, and I adore it. So this is their Terroir series, and the fun story here is you're not going to see this label moving forward. So the winery is doing like a revamp, if you will. And the beauty is when they do these revamps, we kind of are the beneficiaries of these revamps because it's kind of out with the old, in with the new, right? So even top wineries do revamps, and we're really stoked when the top wineries do revamps, because a lot of times we get the call because we live in that nice little pocket of, they don't have like 900 cases to sell, but they got more than, 40 or 50, right? That nice little pocket of like, oh, we got the last X amount of cases. And we go, yes, please. And that's what we're doing with this bad boy right here, which is the amazing wine. The Alexana Pinot Noir Terroir series, Willamette Valley, Oregon. Willamette, damn it. It's not Willamette. Willamette, damn it. I still know how to say Lompoc correctly. Every time I go there, I say it wrong, and like some local person punches me. It's like a bad meme every time. Yeah, but this is Willamette. This is Willamette. And in case you didn't know, it's ground zero for Pinot Noir in Oregon. And frankly, for us, it's one of the top places for Pinot Noir in the entire West Coast of the United States. We're a California business. We're supposed to be California homers, but we probably brace a little heavier for most Oregon Pinot Noirs than we do for a lot of the California stuff, with the exception of a few spots and some producers. But the key with the Willamette is you have a series of soils. You got jewelry soils. You got two different types of volcanic soils. You have floodplain soils. You have red volcanic. You have black volcanic. And what happens is a lot of these producers, they'll find this perfect little mix of these soil types and conceive and create these wonderful, true Willamette Valley Pinot Noirs, like making a true Napa Valley Cabernet from Rutherford and Calistoga and Oak Knoll and blah, blah, blah. They do the same thing here. And it's always for the most part, with really exceptional results. The blending of these terroirs a lot of times is more compelling than the individual single vineyard wines. And I think they barrack in the Dundee Hills. And Dundee Hills can be really compelling, but if Dundee Hills isn't done perfectly, it feels like there's a part missing. It feels like Dundee Hills should have a little of that Yamhill Carlton black fruit mixed in there, et cetera, right? And when these guys do these blended wines, even though the wine may seem simpler, in fact, I think it's a more complete wine in the palate, and that's what we get here with the Terroir series. So this is a blend of different terroirs throughout the Willamette Valley, made by the expert team at Alexana, which has the same attention to detail as the expert team at Ravana in the Napa Valley. And here we do have a little more of that darker fruited mojo. So even though they're in Dundee, the red fruit here is very ripe. You get more of that red, kind of that really ripe pink cherry, almost heading the black cherry component, which Dundee Hills can be a little more like heavy strawberry heading the red cherry. So this is a little deeper wine than some of the straight Dundee Hills bottlings. Gorgeous fruit, super perfumed. There's a lot of aromatic stuff going on here. Sweet herb, there's wonderful, almost like quinato-y qualities. A lot of spice here, a lot of spice. And you know me, I'm a real texture bug. And the texture here is fabulous. Supple, silky, spicy Pinot Noir, which I know like 90% of you want. Some of you want the pain. Some of you want like all whole cluster, pH at 2.8. This wine is not that. It's very well balanced and kind of hints to the darker side of Pinot Noir from Oregon, right? So we're not talking like San Lucia Highlands where those wines can get really ripe and heavy duty, and this wine isn't that. It is still brighter and more defined than some of those wines. Just beautiful. You can drink buckets of this. 21 was a warm year, but not a hot year. I love 21. I think it's one of the great modern Pinot Noir vintages in Oregon. And this wine shows that again, where you have the richness of the vintage, you have a ton of fruit, a ton of joy, but you also have focus. This wine tells you at the end, no, we're gonna clean up. Come on, button your shirt, come on, let's do this. Which is what Oregon is supposed to do. Oregon's not supposed to leave your palate like all, I have to drink another glass. No, Oregon Pinot Noir has energy. And this has the richness and energy. You can tell it's like kind of a cab lover's Pinot Noir, but that's not a bad thing. There's a lot of great, juicy, rich Pinot Noir out there that I adore drinking. Do I love drinking, DDA Fornerol and some of these lighter, more elegant, more L-I-T-H-E. How do you say that? Live? I prefer the more, I'm smart. I prefer the more live styles of Pinot Noir as well, but this one just delivers the goods. Now, here's the deal. They're moving on from this label. So this usually deliver the goods at $45, which is already a damn fine price for this wine. 93-point Spectator. Do you know how many 93-point Spectator Pinot Noirs, like under $50 there are from this vintage? Well, this vintage is pretty good, so there might be a couple, but there ain't a million. That's very teeny tiny. Now, if we run this, if we run this $45 Pinot Noir to you at $25, that changes things completely. At $25, you have like one or two Pinot Noirs from the vintage that garnered the score blind from Wine Spectator. Now we're in some rarefied air. Now we're in some serious value, unprecedented type company. So there you have it. We got delicious, incredible $45 93-point Wine Spectator Pinot Noir from one of the top producers in Oregon for $25. Click below. Right, we're still clicking below. Great. Buy some of this wine. It is limited. We don't have a ton of it. And it will sell like hot cakes. Yay.